Hello and welcome to Healy Fit with your instructor, Jen. Today I have an interval training workout for you utilizing a kettlebell. So if you have a nice soft or cushioned surface like a gym floor, that would work well. Otherwise, you can just grab a mat, padded or otherwise. Kettlebell in hand, let's start out with our warm up. Arms reach to the sky, sit down into a squat, weave the arms kind of down towards the knees. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sit back. Good. Working all the way into the arms, into the legs. Awesome. On this next one, let's go ahead and reach the arms up to the sky, shifting side to side. So we're kind of pivoting on that outer foot, same foot as the arm reaching up and overhead. Looking upward or down towards the feet, whatever feels right for you. We're reaching up and over to the sides, checking in with those outer obliques, lower blades of the shoulders, ankles, and feet before we get started. Speaking of feet, I am doing this workout barefoot, but of course, if you feel more comfortable in shoes and socks, you are welcome to go that route as well. Arms cross over the front. We do that same pivot with the feet. One foot planted, one foot lifted up through the heel as we reach the arm across side to side, checking with the back, with the hips. Awesome. Now let's take it into hands on thighs. Shift the hips back, flat back down, and then we're going to roll up. I love this exercise to check in with the spine, working into that spinal mobility. This is also a great chance for you to engage that mind-muscle connection with your core. So pulling the navel in and up as you round up, pulling the pelvic floor in and up as you round up, stretching along the front and back side of the shoulders. Awesome, just a few more. And let's take it up here. Hands come beside or behind the head, twisting to the opposite knee, checking out balance and stability. The intensity of this workout is really going to ramp up, and we're going to alternate between cardiovascular exercises and more musculo-intensive exercises, allowing you to really get a great full body cardiovascular and muscle strength workout. Go ahead, twist side to side, elbows towards opposite knees, lifting the knee up, twisting across. And now take one foot forward, one foot back, and let's exhale, shift the hips and elbows forward, open up the elbows as you shift the leg back. All right, so we're checking in with our hip flexors here, tucking the knee in, lifting the back heel, tucking the knee in, lifting the back heel. And then we're arms kind of moving in that same trajectory. Switch sides. Let's do 5 on this side. Shift in, tuck the hips, open the elbows out as you push the heel back and unfold the knee. Good. 3 and release. 2, open up hip and chest. Awesome. All right, here goes nothing. Let's go grab that kettlebell, both in hand. I'm going to show you easy option first in case you want to take it a little bit lighter. You're going to lift that kettlebell out into a kettlebell swing, drop the kettlebell to the floor, take one foot, step back at a time, step back in, and rise up to do it again. Go ahead, kettlebell swing, drop the kettlebell to the floor, walk back into a plank, step back forward, and up. All right, let's go a little bit faster. Step back or jump, step back in, and go into your kettlebell swing. Good. Now you can come up to a full standing position or initiate that kettlebell swing from a squat. You'll see me do that a little bit later on. So this is a great chance to kind of start to warm it up, changing intensity as you progress, going as hard or as easy as you feel is right for you today. Good. So here we go. Step back, step in, and throw the kettlebell forward. All right, let's come down to one hand, two knees, and go into our back row. You could also do this from a plank position. So if you so prefer, you could go into more of a renegade row, up into plank, onto your toes, trying to hold everything strong and steady on those 3 limbs as you row through the 4th limb. Awesome, almost done on this side, and then we go back into that kettlebell swing, stepping back into our burpee. All right, plank, jump, swing, set the kettlebell down, jump back, jump forward, and swing. Awesome, continue on. You are really going to start to feel the heart rate pumping here. Our musculo-intensive exercises are going to be more targeted on bringing the heart rate down. This particular sort of interval-like training is fantastic for training the body to really adapt to stressors outside the gym. So it's great to get those endorphins flowing, have fun, and have the heart rate kind of go in various trajectories, up, down, up, down, up, down. So when you hit those stressors, it is easier for your body to cope outside the gym. Back into our all fours or plank position, we go into our Renegade Row, drawing the kettlebell up and in, keeping the elbow nice and close to the body as we do. Trying to avoid a lot of shift onto the other side. We're just trying to keep everything square towards the mat. Pull that weight up and in towards you, lifting the elbow kind of above the waistline. Awesome. Next move. Kettlebell nice and out to the front, toes curled underneath. We're going to reach the kettlebell out in front of us, come into a high or low squat, and step back. Good. So lunge to squat, lunge to kneeling, lunge to squat, lunge to kneeling. All right, so we're stepping forward and stepping back. This is a great opportunity also to check in with your knees. If you're thinking, you know what, I gotta hit pause and roll my mat up for a little bit more cushioning, you do just that. You could also grab like a Bosu and kneel down to your Bosu or another padded surface like a cushion or a pillow. Awesome, let's add in a shoulder press. You're gonna take the kettlebell, palm facing forward, drop the kettlebell down towards the shoulder, and then press back up. Go ahead, continue to do that. And then if you're thinking, you know what, this is too easy for me, I need more of a challenge, let's do it one leg, right? So the opposite leg is going to lift up off the floor towards the knee line. And we're trying to balance and stabilize as we push the weight up to the sky. That leg is trying to stay cemented to the floor. So keep the big toe, the pinky toe, and the heel down best you can. Last 2. Last 1. And let's go back to that lunge, squat to kneel positioning. All right, so kettlebell thrust out to the front deltoid raise option. You could pull the kettlebell into the chest. Now she tells us. That's always what I tell my classes. We kind of let the modifications be known a little bit later on, right? After we start to feel our shoulders are burning a little bit, legs are burning a little bit, trying to keep that squatted position as we step in. It's trying to stay as low as we can to really work into the quadriceps. Trying to transition softly down to the knees, come on up, shift to the other arm, and we go into those overhead presses again. Awesome, press up and down. Good, now once you catch your breath, you are going to try for one leg. And if this flamingo pose is not for you, of course, adjust accordingly, bring both feet to the floor. You can also have your hand kind of out to your side or onto your hip, whatever works best for you. Good, press up and release. Press and draw back. So good, almost there, almost there. All right. Next move, here we go. All right, kettlebell into one hand. We're gonna step back, push the kettlebell up overhead, same side. All right, so the opposite leg is the one stepping back into your lunge. Back knee could drop down to the mat or perhaps stay elevated from the floor, coming to about the ankle line or above. Go ahead, step back, push the weight overhead, step forward, bring the weight down. Go ahead, so kind of a clean and press, or a curl press, and lunge step back. Now Now from here, we're going into a bicep curl. So this is our musculoskeletal release. Again, we could go into that one-legged move, challenging our balance and stability as we do our bicep curls. Go ahead, think strong lifted posture here. Try to drive through the heel all the way through the back of the knee into the hips, stabilizing as you curl the weight about fist distance from shoulder. Good, head up tall, core braced, and let it go. Let's do those lunges on the other side, transitioning the weight to the other foot. We are going to push the weight up to the sky and step back. Go ahead, continue to go. Step back, push the weight up, come back in, and tap. God, let's do about 7 more of those. Hand to the side or hand to the hip, whatever feels most comfortable for you and allows you to maintain balance and stability as you move. You're doing so fantastic. Keep going, keep going. Step back, curl to press, step in, press to curl. Stepping back in, we go to our bicep curls. When and if you're ready, that foot that was stepping back comes in for our flamingo pose. Heel towards the knee line, trying to balance and stabilize, keeping everything kind of solid and cemented from heel to crown as you curl. Keep the elbow tight into the trunk. That's going to help isolate into the bicep. Fantastic. All right, we're going to start making our way down towards the mat. So we're going to go into this wonky, it's called a reverse burpee move. You're going to sit down into a squat all the way to the floor, come into reverse tabletop, and then come up into standing. Go ahead, sit back, overhead reach, step in and up. Go ahead, sit back, roll back to your mat, come back up, and stand. All right, so while I was doing these, I realized the closer your heels are to your hips, the easier it is to get up. But if you make that mistake, the weight should be just enough to help you rise up from the floor. If not, you come up maybe to that squatty position or maybe just to seated. Good, so maybe you're just rocking down and coming up into a full or half sit-up. And that's okay too. We're all working in our own dimension and we want to be cognizant of that and know that there are other levels. There are always other levels that we could attempt to achieve. Awesome. Now from here, we're going to do a tricep overhead press. We're only doing 1 round of these, and then we're going back to our reverse burpee. Good. So kettlebell presses up towards the sky. Knees stacked over hips. Core brace. So pull your belly button down towards your spine. Thread your rib cage towards your hips. Squeeze into the backs of the arms as you press the wrists over the elbows. Elbows stay over the shoulders. Go ahead, chin tucked in lightly, head pressed back to the mat. We're almost there through these tricep extensions. And now let's go back into that reverse burpee. Step in, stand up, roll back, overhead extension. Go ahead, so we're doing that pull over to stand. Go ahead, squat back, pull over. Now, as you bring your kettlebell up overhead, try to keep your rib cage locked in towards your hips. So try to keep that core engagement. Low back push towards the mat, even as the kettlebell comes up. Good, navel towards spine, rise, and drive through heels. Oh my goodness, this is really gonna drive into those quads tomorrow. I just know it, I just know it. Awesome, almost there, almost there. All right, I think we should stay down to the mat. Here we go, transition to one arm. All right, so we're gonna do a 1-arm press. As you press through that arm, you're gonna extend the opposite leg. Go ahead, draw the elbow in and down towards the mat, and as you push it up, you're extending the leg out. Keep your abs tucked in, belly button pulled towards spine. Good, so that core lock. Now, as an option, you could lift your head, make it a little bit more challenging for your core. but I find this is plenty challenging enough. So if you're with me, you are welcome to stay with head down, just trying to push into that one arm chest press with leg extension. So we've got core and pectoralis working together. Fantastic. Let's go into a little twist. Go ahead, taking the kettlebell side to side, a little lighter intensity cardio to take us into our final 2 moves. Go ahead, twisting side to side, core braced. As you twist, imagine you're wringing out a towel. So keep your core locked in. Exhale, twist, inhale, transition. Awesome. As you come back down to the floor, we do that chest press with leg extension on the other side. Go ahead, press and extend, release back down. So good. Continue to reach and extend. Home stretch. Awesome. Let's go back into those twists. Come back up to seated, twisting side to side. Now this is your last exercise. So if you're thinking to yourself, you know what, let's take it up a notch. You can bring your feet up from the floor, but you might do that a couple rounds and say, you know what, no, I'd rather have my feet down onto the floor. So up to you, up to you. Light backward lean, twisting that kettlebell side to side, bracing your core, exhaling, twist side to side, and done. Done, done, dun, 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 dun. Come into seated. Let's go ahead and stretch out those obliques. Good. Get any stretch out from your fingertips all the way to your shoulders. Shift out over your front foot, your back knee. And then inhale, stretch like you just woke up. There we go. There we go. Waking up a lot of those muscles in that interval training workout. Let's go switch sides. So first we start with that outer oblique. Love muffin stretch. Good, so top of the hip into the outer obliques, down through the base of the shoulder, up into the fingertips. Then lean out over the front foot, going as far forward as feels right for you. As you come up, stretch like you just woke up. Awesome. Such a great workout with you today. Give yourself a big hug for all that hard work. Thank you so much. Take care. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.